Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go over the installation of a fuel pump access door on 3rd Gen F bodies. I know it's a controversial subject. Some people say you should never do it, drop the tank, it's easy. It's not easy. I don't care who you are. People are saying they do it in an hour in their driveway. Uh, no, I'm sorry. I have a lift. I'm a professional, been doing this for 20 years, and it's just not easy. You have to just, I don't know, it's just a pain in the butt. And so a fuel pump access door, when done correctly, um, is going to save you a lot of headaches in the future. If you're looking to keep your car original, if you have some rare, turbo Trans Am or, 3rd Gen Firehawk, which are very rare, or something that's just really off the wall and rare, I can understand that of not wanting to cut up your car. But for all the rest of us that have very common cars, or if you're just looking, you're not going to sell your car, you don't have any plans on, you're not a collector, you're modifying your car for you, then I'd recommend doing it. Now, the best way to do it, in my opinion, you're going to have to drop the tank once, because cutting the fuel tank is very close to the body sheet metal. I mean, you can do it. You just have to be very, very careful. But since I am converting to a plastic 4th gen fuel tank, that's what this video is specifically about. How to convert to a 4th gen fuel tank, convert your fuel lines, and also cut your fuel pump access door to fit that 4th gen fuel tank, because they're different than the 3rd gen fuel tank. And I'm talking about the plastic tanks. I guess there's some 4th gens that came with the steel tanks, but the last generation, the LS 4th gens, not the LT ones, they came with a plastic fuel tank with a rubber filler neck. So those are much easier to drop in the future if you ever were going to drop the tank. But since I had mine out, and I'm also swapping differentials from the old GM 10 bolt to the new strange Dana 60 that I purchased, I figured might as well cut that fuel pump access hole. Then all I have to do is lift the carpet, open that door, and it's a nice, clean installation. So I'm going to show you how to do it correctly, at least the way I did it. There's several ways to do it, and I've seen lots of nice installs, not just hack job installs on these on making an access door. The product that I used is the Allstar Performance Access Door. They're available on Summit. They're available from Allstar Performance's website. They're fairly inexpensive. I think this one was $55. It comes with Zeus fittings. It lays nice and flat. They come in different sizes. The size I used is, I think, 9 by 14. I'll have to double check. I'll link the product in the description below. But it fit the area that I wanted to cut out nicely. And then also allowed me to have some space to put some sort of seal to seal the door from any outside elements. I just wanted to have a little bit of extra precaution there to make sure. I'm not going to run a vapor canister on my setup because I have no way to purge it, because I'm running a Holley Terminator system. There's no purge control on there. I'm not running a GM ECM or PCM. So I'm just going to ditch it, and it's just going to vent to atmosphere. So in my case, I'm going to have probably some fumes that are coming from that hose. I might run that hose somewhere out near the rear of the car a little bit more, so it's not being trapped right up under the fuel tank. But just in case, I want to make sure those vapors do not get into the cabin. So I want to have an area to be able to seal. So I'm going to have a time-lapse video that shows the install. The carpet's already going to be removed. I figure, that part's not really interesting. You should know how to pull the carpet out of your F-body if you're doing this. And then I will go over some specifics. Now, on my final installation, it's not completely done yet. I actually, on the drive home from the shop today, thought of some solutions as far as sealing off the holes I had to make for the Zeus fittings and the springs for the Zeus fittings that lock into those, where those fit. Also, the one bad thing about that Allstar Performance Access door is it doesn't come with any instructions, or if it did, I lost them. And I didn't see them available on the website. Most times manufacturers make their instructions available on their websites. I didn't find it on there. They had instructions for everything else except for their access doors. I've never put one of these things in before, so I didn't really know exactly how the Zeus fittings went together. I mean, I've used Zeus fittings before, but I've never installed them before. And so I had to watch a little video in the middle of the install on how to do that with some other people. They didn't actually show how to install these things, but somebody was showing how they cut their access door in some other vehicle. I think it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee or something like that, or something. And anyways, their finished product, because I riveted the door hinge on the wrong side and it wouldn't have been able to flip all the way up. So I would have had to bungee cord it, because it would have only been halfway up and it probably would have fell down. So I drilled those out, flipped those around. So it was a little bit of a learning experience, but hopefully with this video, you'll be able to see the finished product, how everything goes together. If you want to purchase something like this for your car and do it yourself, obviously this is not the only way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but hopefully this will help you out. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I lay down some welding blankets to shield my upholstery and my Corbeau racing seats from the cutoff wheel that I'm going to be using to cut the hole. Don't use fiberglass welding blankets on upholstery. I found out it left a ton of fiberglass on my nice Corbeau racing seats, but it did shield everything else off. Once I cut the access hole, the hole is going to be between the two reinforcement ribs that run down the middle of the sheet metal. That's where the fuel pump module is going to be sitting. On the 4th gen fuel tank, you want to cut it all the way to the back, right where it starts to radius down. And then the frame of the door is actually going to curve down. You'll see that at the very end. The door lays flat. So that's important, because the 4th gen fuel tank, the fuel pump module, sits all the way in the back as versus the 3rd gen where it's more in the middle. I did assemble the door incorrectly at first. I put the piano hinge on the wrong side of the door where I had the Zeus fittings already riveted in, so I had to drill those out and change those around. But other than that, I just sprayed some primer on the bare metal after I deburred everything, just to make sure nothing rusts. The big thing on this is just make sure that you really plan ahead, because once you cut once, that's it. Now, as you can see here, the fuel door is made correctly with the piano hinge underneath the frame and the Zeus fitting resting area under the frame as well. This is me just bending it down on the edge and then riveting those down. And then, I'm banging that down with a rubber mallet and then riveted those down. And then I'm going to lift the car. There's that reinforcement ridge that's in the middle that doesn't go all the way down the middle. And I bang that flat just so the seal has a flat surface to lay on. And I'm applying the seal, and it's good to go. So here it is, mostly finished. I think I might get some different seals that are a little thinner. These are a little thick, pushing up on the access door. And then also I'm going to have to do something to seal around the Zeus fittings because of the hole I had to make there. There we go. I tended to use those for the seal, but they're a little too thick. So I have to get something a little thinner, because these are just sticking up a little too much. But that's just a matter of looking around, seeing what they got available at Home Depot or online or something. I might just take some butyl tape and kind of shove it around here just to seal that off, so no possibility of any fumes or vapors. I mean, it's gonna be covered with carpet too that has mass backing, this stuff here, so I don't think anything's gonna get through it, but just in case. Also bent this around because on the 4th gen fuel tanks, the fuel module is all the way near the back. I wanted to make sure I had as much room as possible. So I felt like, okay, put the door across the flattest part, bend that around a little bit. And it's pretty easily bendable, so it's not too bad. Just kind of hammered it with a soft rubber mallet. And yeah, so we're good to go there. Like I said, I just need to get some thinner seals so it shuts a little easier. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So here is the 3rd gen steel tank. As you can see, the fuel pump module is in the middle of the tank. So this is the rear of the car, front of the car. This one's more in the middle. Move over here to the 4th gen tank. It's on the LS swap engine run stand. And you can see that this one, the front is where the evap canister goes. So they move the fuel pump all the way to the back. So that's why you're gonna have to put it in a different position, your fuel pump access door, if you're doing it for a 4th gen plastic tank. And I will get the rest of the tank installation done here when I get the filler neck. I'm still waiting on parts for the filler neck.